Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Raphael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Fong, thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Friday, my friend.
Hey, happy Friday to you. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. So we are on New Tip Daily, and you have some incredible tips, and I can't wait to hear them on make more, work less. That is such an easy concept to think about, but to do, is it easy?
Well, it's a simple concept. You just have to put in the time, put in the effort, and have that right mindset. If you don't have the right mindset and you don't put in the effort and you don't put in time, well, nothing is easy, and nothing becomes more.
Right. Yeah. There you go. So go ahead and give us a couple of the tips that you're considering.
Well, there's a lot of things I want to share, and I had a lot of uh, conflict as to which one to choose. But I think I settled for this one, which is one of my favorites because it really changed my life. And when my whole thing is make more, work less, and saving time, being efficient, this is one thing that has really saved me time and become a lot more efficient. And that is increasing your brain power by at least 50%. And if you implement this little tip and every single day, eventually you're going to find that you're going to be able to think faster, find the resources that's in the back of your mind faster, speak faster, communicate better, and connect with people better. And that is because if you want to connect and network well, you need to have a lot of different references. You need to have a lot of different knowledge and different avenues to connect with people. And also, if you want to learn things, you have to read a lot of the content. You have to listen to a lot of content. And for me, reading takes a long, long time. For me to read a 250-page book takes me, I don't know, on and off over a month, 2 months to read that book, and maybe altogether 20, 25 hours. And eventually, you kind of lose that momentum. You read a bit here, go to sleep, read a little bit here, go to sleep, and then also, wait a minute, what did I read before? So you go back. So if I want to gain more knowledge, I want to read more stuff. If I want to listen to more stuff, I need to have more time to listen to more stuff. And I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan's podcast. I listen to a lot of his stuff, and his podcast is great because there's so much content out there, so much different interviews and knowledge out there that he interviews. So what do? Well, first of all, to read that book faster, I get an audiobook, and also I buy the physical book. I then start playing that audiobook at, let's say, 3 times the speed. Instantly, you're able to reduce your time finishing that book down to about 2-3 hours. But because I'm listening to it and reading it at the same time, that allows me to hit both senses, my eyes and my ears. And what's very interesting is that you're able to retain the information actually better than you reading it yourself. The second thing I didn't like about reading was when I read, I hear my own voice. So that bothers me. Just like, let's say, just like that Seinfeld episode about George Costanza. But anyway, so if 3 times the speed is too hard, then reduce it down to 2 times. Reduce it down to 1.5 times. How I started off was, okay, I need to increase my reading and my reception power. So I set it at 2 times the speed, listen to that for about 2 minutes, and then change it down to 1.5. And all of a sudden, 1.5 becomes very, very slow. And you're like, wow, my brain just adjusted to that. I've defaulted all my stuff to 1.5 times the speed, sometimes even 2. So now I've changed my YouTube stuff, my Spotify stuff, my podcast stuff, all the way up to 1.5, 2.0 times the speed. And all of a sudden, you're able to listen to things faster. You're able to retain stuff faster. You retain things faster, and you're able to get that information in your head faster and recover it faster when you're talking to people. So now I'm saving time. I'm getting more information. I could network better because I can talk to people with all this different knowledge that I'm retaining. And the one small negative thing about this is that when I'm talking to people, sometimes I just go, wow, they talk really, really slow. Okay,
Yes.
I got it. Just speed it up a little bit. So that's one thing I would not recommend is having that mindset of everybody speaks that fast because they don't. So now you can adjust. But from my point of view, it's easier to adjust slower than to adjust faster. If somebody
Agree.
speaks fast, then it's hard for you to actually comprehend. But if you train your mind like that, instantly you're able to retain that information.
Yeah, I love it. You know, one of the things that I've done when I was used to edit a lot, I went from 20 times faster to 30. I went up to 100 times faster, and it became slow. And
Mhm.
you're right, we can train our mind, which is the most incredible thing, to speed things up. And if I put the headphones on you and I was even going 100%, you're like, what is this, chipmunks? It was so fast that you're right. When I put it at regular speed, it sounded like it was like this. And I was like, oh my goodness. But our mind can adapt. So we can adapt too fast, we can adapt to slow. I love the way you realize that you can activate both senses, your audio, right? Your auditory, but also your visual, and you connected those two. There's one little thing that I do also, and that's I take notes on what I read.
Mhm.
I don't know if you do that, but that also allows me to almost. I used to have different journals, but now I put it in my Remarkable, and I can just click on a book and I can go and see all the like the cliff notes, if you will. So I'm creating the cliff notes myself because it's not necessarily word for word, it's how I interpret it or the benefit that I saw, right? So one of the things that you talked about is communication and how that really has impacted when you even speak to someone. I love to share with you our video on communication. Take a look.
Welcome to Speaking Prowess, where we believe in the power of communication to transform lives. If you're ready to take your communication skills to the next level, we have a lineup of some of the most influential communication experts in the industry. These are the voices that will guide you on a journey to enhance your ability to connect, influence, and succeed. At Speaking Prowess, our mission is clear: to empower you through effective communication. We know that mastering the art of communication isn't just about what you say. It's about how you say it and the impact it has on every aspect of your life. So take action now and get ready to embark on a journey towards personal and professional growth.
You know what? One very interesting about that video is that you're in it.
I'm like, oh look, that guy looks familiar.
That's it. That's him. So you are part of Speaking Prowess. Why is that a thing that you even considered? Because you're talking about make more, work less, and that's just another load that I'm putting on you, right? But you considered it, and then you said, yes, this is a good venture to go into. Would you mind sharing just that tip onto why did you take on another spinning plate, if you will?
Well, there's two aspects to that. One, from my point of view, and when it comes to speaking, if you want to impact as many people as you want, if you want to add value to as many people as you want or as you can, you need to connect with more and more people.
Mm,
It's one thing to go to a room of 500 people and go, hi, my name is Fong. Hi, my name is Fong. Hi, my name is Fong, and talk to 500 people individually. But it's another thing to go up on stage and go, hi, my name is Fong. How are you doing? You instantly connect with 500 people.
mm.
Now, if you're not able to communicate well and you're not able to impact people on stage or in large audiences, then you're not able to really connect with large groups of people. then your only outcome is to go and meet people one-on-one, which means you're spending more time, you're spending more effort, and from what I'm saying, make more work less. You want to be able to be efficient. So you want to be laser focused. You want to be able to impact more people in less time. So that's one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is, I don't know, a lot of people out there who may or may not be speaking to large groups of audiences, but they're just at their daily workplace, working 9 to 5 and whatnot, and they're putting their head down, they're working hard. Now, I come from an engineering background. I used to lead a group of 20 some engineers and designers. And during the busy times, you have lots of people working and everybody's busy. But once the job's done, all of a sudden you start seeing people being let go. And I had this one individual come up to me and goes, why is it every single time that when jobs are over, I'm one of the first people to get let go? And I go, well, what do you think? She goes, is it my work ethic? Is it my quality? Is it all this other stuff? And I go, no, it's none of that stuff. You're a great worker. You're a person who's efficient when it comes to calculations and all that kind of stuff. And if I have a job and I want it to be done well, I will put you on it for sure. However, when things are tough and things are lean, I need somebody who's able to do the work and put them in front of the client and represent the company and speak and negotiate and deal with stuff. And unfortunately, your communication skills are not strong enough. So you could go back and do MBAs and advanced studies and all kinds of stuff in your field, but that's not going to help you with your communication style. Mm-hmm. So those are the two aspects as to why I believe speaking prowess is something that's very, very important and something that I could probably add some value to, and hence I'm part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you talk about understanding why, so some people don't understand, and maybe they never asked the question, but you did a huge service to this person because you said to them, you're amazing, but you have one flaw. Now, if she took your advice and she worked on the flaw, then she becomes almost indispensable. But if she said, no, my engineering is perfect, I'm just going to continue with that, and then she'll go from one job to the next, right?
That's true. Which is why one of the biggest skill sets that I tell like up and coming entrepreneurs or university students, even high school students, to work on is speaking. Take on those leadership classes, take on those debate classes, take on those speaking classes. Sometimes it has to be outside of the normal school times. It's like a bonus class or an extracurricular class or whatnot. Take those classes, get that experience, because that is more important than the actual content that you're giving. If you're able to communicate well, most people don't remember the actual content you talk about, but how you make them feel when you're on stage speaking to them.
I love the fact that you understood the impact when you talk to more than one person at the same time. Right? And that's what public speaking allows people to do. It made me think of a professional singer. What if they had to go to everybody's house and that same song over? How many people can they cover in one day? Maybe 20, maybe 30 before their voice starts to hurt. But meanwhile, they create an album and millions of people hear it. And then they go and do a stadium show. And now you have maybe 50, 60, 70,000 people hearing it at the same time. Mm-hmm. So when we understand the value and how to deliver the value, I think that's when we work less and get more.
Exactly. Very, very true. And just think, if anybody wants that singer to give them a private concert, man, you could charge a lot more for that.
Absolutely. Can you imagine if you had the number one singer in the world come and just sing at your kid's party or your 40th party or whatever party you're having? Yeah, it's not going to be, even $10,000. If you have anyone, and even if you have a high-level speaker, true high-level speakers are way over $100,000, and that's just for 1 hour. Right?
Well, the value that they deliver is absolutely amazing. And if it wasn't amazing, there wouldn't be that many people who follow them, and they would not be able to charge that type of price. So obviously, people find the value. People know that it's a great cost to put out there, or else they wouldn't have paid for it.
Absolutely. So, Fang, I love the tips that you're sharing with us. How did you realize that it took you a month to read a book and you wanted to speed up the process? Did you do research? Did you figure things out, or was this just all on your own? How did you come to the solution that you gave us?
Well, it's kind of it was kind of by fluke. I like I said, I want to be able to read faster. It's an issue that I've had since I was a kid, and that's why I hated reading. When we were given a book project or a book reports assignment or something like that, I would procrastinate forever because I hated reading. I hated sitting there and reading, and it took so much time. I don't remember it well and all that kind of stuff. So then I started reading comic books that allowed me to at least get the interest of flipping pages, reading, holding a book. And then from there, I think it was my brother who started to watch all these cartoons and stuff that we've seen when we were young. And he goes, "Yeah, you already know the story. You already know what's going to go on. You just want to get that jolt of memory boost again and go, oh, wow, that was a great show." So then he goes, "Watch, you could watch all this stuff in 2 times the speed, 3 times the speed." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I could do that. I already know the show. I already know the storyline. It's just that jolt of memory, right?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute. I could do this for other stuff." So then I started applying to audiobooks, to podcasts, to videos and whatnot. I'm like, "Hey, this is great. This is helping me out so much more. And I'm going through books a lot faster."
So, would you say that you doubled or tripled your reading ability?
I would say double. I'm hesitant to say triple because I'm not always at 3 times the speed. I would jump between 2.5. So I doubled the speed and saved me a lot of time. And to piggyback on what you were talking about, where when you read and when you listen, you take notes. And then on top of that, I'm sure you retell some of those lessons learned that you've experienced. And that ultimately allows you to really retain that information. So for me, if I learned something, I've read something or listened to something that was very, very amazing, I would then go, "Hey, Jess, guess what I just learned?" And I talked about it. And I might do another video again to kind of really cement that image or that lesson in my mind so I could do it again and again and again.
That is very interesting when we can teach what we learn, because then it truly tells us and everybody else is that he kind of knows what he's talking about. But do you give credit also to where you learned the lesson? Because I know a lot of people do and some don't.
I definitely give the credit to the people I've learned stuff from. Quotes that I pick up. Just the other day, I had somebody come up to me and goes, "Hey, we love your website. Just to let you know, we're actually following your website and creating our own just to match what yours has because we like it so much." I'm like, "Well, go right ahead because guess what? I took somebody else's website and kind of mimic theirs." And the thing is that other person has actually given us the go ahead to mimic their website. So I'm like, yeah, why not give them the credit? So yes, give credit where it's due because you don't want to burn bridges. Burning bridges is awful. So if you are able to give the credit to the people that you learned it from, give them recognition and really appreciate what they've done for you, then it goes a long, long way.
So you just mentioned something that everybody's like, well, now we have to go to Fong's website. Would you mind putting in the private chat and tell us while you're doing it, what is your website so we can have it going across the screen?
Yeah, it's just fongchua.com.
I love it. I think I can throw it on here. Let me see if I do justice to it. Okay. So I'm going to create a banner, and then that way Do you need me to put the WW? Not really.
No.
And there it is. I'll throw it across. You tell me if it's correct. If not, I'll change it. That's it.
Looks good. Thank you.
All right. So everybody, you need to go and check out Fong's website because it's his first and last name. So you have this beautiful bridge as your background. Why did you choose that bridge besides any other bridge?
First of all, it kind of takes me back to my engineering background. So when you think engineer, you think bridges. I think a bridge is something that represents the connection between two individuals. If you're not able to do something, or you're not able to achieve the success that you've always achieved to do, then you need to find that bridge. You have to find that person that you could connect that bridge to learn from, your coach, your mentor, whoever it is. Hence, I've always kind of had this kind of attachment to bridges. I think it's a great metaphor for success. It's a great metaphor for connections and relationships and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I picked the bridge. And it also represents my hometown.
There you go. So it's incredible when we can look at a simple picture like that, but it's so complex as well, because it's not only a bridge, but we see buildings behind it. Everything's engineering, right? The water flow, everything has a purpose and it has a place. So great tips today. I mean, do you have any more? I mean, I know you have like 5 million of them.
How about this? I'll leave it with one more very, very simple thing. One of the first things that I've implemented, and that is changing how I wake up. Lots of people are so ready to wake up, and good on them. They don't need an alarm clock. They don't need something to prompt them. For me, I wasn't that type of person. I needed something to prompt myself to wake up. And I used to have that annoying alarm clock, like a lot of people out there that just go, dan, 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 and everybody's like, you're already pissed off when you wake up. So that is not the right way of starting your day. If you're starting your day pissed off already, then guess what? It leads to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. So I found one of my most favorite, most motivating songs. It's a Chinese song, but there's that song. There's two songs that I pick. One is a Chinese song. The other song is You've Got the Touch, which is the main theme song from the Transformers cartoon movie back in the 1980s. And it starts up, you got the touch, you got the power. So I wake up to that every single morning. I'm pumped, I'm ready to go, and it starts you off on the right foot. So something I highly recommend people. Very, very simple thing. Just swap your alarm with something that's motivating, gets you ready to go, and on the right path to success.
I love it. It's very interesting when, I'm one of those guys. I don't put an alarm. Actually, this morning I woke up about 25 minutes before I wanted to get up, and my body said go, and I was like, let's do it. But I do have a ton of alarms along my day, and everyone is a different song. So I get what you're saying, and it depends on what I need to do. So it motivates me to do this, do that, the other. And you're right, because music is such a great motivator. It can definitely brighten your step.
For sure. Just not only music though. So here's another thing. My wife and I, we're big Batman fans. And we went to this one Comic-Con and we met the voice of Batman Beyond. Ooh. So we walked by and go, hey, do you know who he is? And my wife's like, who? I'm like, that's the voice of Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond. And she goes, oh, sweet, let's go talk to him. So we walked up, there was no lineup. We were just kind of chatting with him. And then all of a sudden my wife goes, you know what? It'd be awesome. I've always dreamed of having Batman say something inspiring to me. And he goes, like this? Here, give me your phone. He grabs her phone and goes, Jessica, this is Batman. I'm very proud of you. And stop. That's her ringtone every single morning. So she wakes up to that. So it's not just music. Something inspirational is great.
That's pretty cool. So thank you for today. And I love the energy that you bring every time And I just want to share with everybody, you have an amazing podcast as well. And thank you for allowing me to be a guest on your show. Would you take a minute or two and just tell us about your podcast?
So the name of my show is the Peak Potential Success Show, and it's basically interviewing people from all over the world, finding out their path to success, how they overcome challenges and adversity, and their keys to success. And somebody as accomplished as Mr. Sifu Raphael here was a great guest, and somebody that people need to listen to. And that's why I have people on my show, because these are people that has great tips, great value to share, and people need to listen to some of these tips and some of these the mindsets that people go through to succeed in life. So once again, thank you very much for being on the show, and it's coming out very, very soon, so I can't wait.
Excellent. Thank you, my friend. It is always a pleasure, and I can't wait for you to come on the other shows as well.
Sounds good. Can't wait.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Have yourself an exceptional Friday, and make sure to tune in and join us again. Take care, everybody. All right. It's still live. Why we end the stream? I ended it. We're still going. We just don't want to